it's Ellis. I'm happy to be with you to share this practice today. So today we are going to do a soothing slow flow practice. And so this will be a great way to tune into the body, to slow the mind a bit. And we'll practice some repetitive movement, which is a really great way to soothe the nervous system. So as you set up your space, I encourage you to have your mat or towel laid out, and then I'd like for you to have something to sit on. So I've got my meditation cushion. You can take a pillow or two from the couch, or if you've got a blanket, you can roll that up. Other props you might like today would be a blanket to pad your knees if kneeling can feel uncomfortable to you. And if you've got yoga blocks, I always like to have those on hand, but no big deal if you don't have those. All right, let's get started with our practice. So come to a cross-legged seat with your hips supported up on your blanket or your pillows. And then I want you just to start to move the spine around, and it doesn't need to be specific or organized. Just start to shift it a little forward and back and side to side. And if you are doing a circular movement, be sure you move it in a couple directions, but I really want you to just kind of move intuitively. And our aim here is to see if we can find that neutral alignment. And what neutral means in the context of anatomy is that we aren't using our muscles really to hold it up. So we are finding an equilibrium where our joints, our bones are stacked in such a way that they feel stable and sturdy without having to grip so much in the muscle. So as you shift around, you can start to find that in the hips and the spine. And then ease your body towards stillness. Lift your arms up overhead. Take the gaze up to the thumbnails. Hold the breath in. Breathe out the mouth and cactus the arms. Do that again. Arms stretch wide, tall, and strong. Lift the gaze. Hold the breath. Breathe out the mouth. Good. Let's bring the palms to touch in front of the heart. Hakini mudra. So I guess finger pads are touching. The palms are hovering. Fingers are spread apart. Shift your gaze down to the tips of your fingers. And I want you to draw all of your attention right here to this gesture in your hands, to the feeling of the heat between your palms, and maybe the texture of the pressing pads of your fingers. Your drishti, this one single pointed focus, is on the fingertips, and maintaining that attention, I want you to begin to deepen your breath. Begin to cultivate ujjayi pranayama, this ocean breath. So there is an audible inhale and an audible exhale. And your breath travels in and out through the nose. They're roughly equal in length, but we don't need to be perfectionists about it. Now maintain this steady, warming ujjayi pranayama. And as you maintain a focused gaze on your finger pads, I want you to press them a little bit more together on your inhales. And then soften a little bit on your exhales. So it's a really subtle gesture with the hands. It's a slight pressing of the finger pads on your breath in. Maintaining contact but softening as you breathe out. 5 more breaths like this. Being willing to open your awareness to this present moment. And to do that, You also have to be willing to let go of your to-do list and agenda making. And leave the things that have happened in the past, today, week, month, year. Let those be in the past. Gift yourself this time on your mat, here, exactly here. One more breath. Good. All right, release your hands down. Good. All right, we'll start moving the body. So keeping your hips supported up on your bolster or your blanket pillow, I want you to bring the sole of your right foot to the ground and the left shin is on the ground. Bring your right hand to the outer line of your right foot. You've got the elbow inside the knee and lift the sole of the foot forward. So welcome to the bottoms of my feet. They're rather dirty. So we're in this half happy baby shape. The left hand can rest where it's comfortable. Start to rock a little side to side, and then maybe you start to find a circular movement here. A rocking, churning, like you're stirring a pot with the femur. Yeah. So wake up into the hip. And then you might take the shin more across in front of the chest, and then you can take the left hand to the foot. The right hand might find the outer knee. You might take the knee into the elbow pit and the foot into the other elbow pit, maybe. But we're just rocking into the knee, side to side. These rocking movements, there's a reason we use that to put babies to sleep. It's still soothing for us as adults. Okay. Take the foot back in your right hand and let it face forward. Bring your left hand to your foot. And at this point, there should be a bit of compression of the thigh into the belly, and the upper back can round even here, but we're compressing the femur into the belly. Now, I want you to point the ball mound of your foot forward, and so your fingertips find more the middle and heel edge of your foot. Leg can stay bent, or maybe you start to encourage it to straighten. It's early, so we don't need to be forcing anything. But I want you to press the foot into the hands, and then you can feel the shoulder blades move away from one another. So we're stretching the upper back. This is a Crown-chasana, heron pose. Spread your toes wide. And you can still find a rocking movement here. Through the duration of this practice, any rocking, intuitive movement is welcome. All right, rebend the knee, listen closely. Left hand, outer right foot, so opposite hand to the foot. Right hand reaches up beside the ear. Keep the right foot reaching forward as you open the right arm behind you for a twist. Gaze can come over the right thumb. Right leg can stay bent. We can start to move it towards straight. And as you move the heel towards straight, it doesn't need to get there, feel it lift the chest. One more inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Come to face forward and plant the right foot outside your left knee. And then we're going to turn this into an easy twist. Right fingertips find the ground or your bolster or pillow underneath your hips. Left hand finds the outer knee. And then just leverage a twist to the right. And let's roll an ear to the shoulder and then to the other shoulder. Do that a couple times. Pause where it would feel good. All right, make your way out of the twist. Unravel the legs. And then we're going to take this to the other side. So the right shin comes down to the ground. Sole of the left foot finds the ground, just so you can find that half happy baby. Left arm inside the knee, left hand grips the outer edge of the foot, sole of the foot reaches forward. This leg might feel a little bit different. And then find this soothing, rocking, churning, stirring of the hips. Yeah. You might take the shin in front. That sounds like that would feel good. We're not forcing anything. Good. All right. Now return the foot to your left hand. We're going to find Kranchasana again. We'll do it step by step. So thigh bone into the belly and then both hands to the foot. Sole of the foot reaches forward. Compress the femur into the belly. And then start to point the ball mound forward as you spread the toes. Maybe the leg straightens, maybe not. Maybe you're still moving the leg around a bit. Good, and then we'll turn this into Parvrita Kranchasana. So right hand finds the outer left foot, left arm up, and then peel open to the left. And as you press the foot into your right hand, feel that lifting the chest. Good, we'll turn this into an easy twist. Plant the foot outside the right knee. Left hand comes behind you, right hand comes to the knee. You can always hook the elbow on the knee, but I'm a big fan of hand to knee because it gives me a little bit more space to breathe. Roll the head around, release the jaw, return to your breath. All right. Let's come out of the twist. If you're sitting on something, set it aside. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Hands come down behind you. Fingertips can face into your hips or they can face out to either side. Find what feels good in the body. And then we're going to take just a halfway reverse tabletop or altar pose. So just lift the hips a couple of inches off the ground and you can sway them a little bit side to side. And then lower and bend down. Good. And then on this next one, we'll breathe in, lift the hips a little bit higher, and then lower it down as you exhale. Last time, breathe in, lift the hips as high as you can. Drop the head back and breathe out the mouth. Keep the hips lifted, inhale. Tongue out, exhale. Good. Drop the hips down to the ground. Cross the ankles in front of you. Step right into downward facing dog. So hands come down, spread the fingertips wide, tuck the toes, and lift the hips behind you. Pedal through the legs, bending into one knee, and then the other. Stretching the heels down, releasing through the back line of the body. And this is the time to customize your downward facing dog. So your heels never need to touch, but you can make adjustments so that they feel a little bit heavier. If you shorten your stance, your heels feel a little heavier. So you can consider that. You can always soften the knees. If the arms feel like they're not quite strong enough yet, you also shorten the stance. That brings more of the weight into your legs. If you're feeling like you want to challenge the arms today, lengthen the arms forward a couple of inches and see what that shifts in your downward facing dog. One more breath in. One more breath out. All right. Bring your big toes to touch on the center line. Keeping the inner thighs touching and the legs straight, reach your right leg behind you like you're painting a stripe on the back wall with your foot. Breath in, lift the heel a little bit higher. As you breathe out, bring the right foot to the front of the mat. And if it doesn't quite make it, you can scoot it up, you can use your hand. Good. So we're at a low lunge, light up the left knee, shift the gaze forward as you breathe in. As you exhale, curtsy the behind the right. Take the arms wide. Inhale, stand tall, arms overhead. Breathe in. Exhale, press your palms to your heart. Reach the prayer overhead as you inhale. Wide dive to fold as you exhale, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, fingertips to shins, breathe in. Lower down as you breathe out. On your inhale, step your left foot back to a lunge. On your exhale, it's downward facing dog. As you breathe in, roll the spine forward to plank pose. You can always drop the knees here. Stay here for an inhale. And then everyone drop your knees and then chest and chin to the ground, so we're a little inchworm shape. And then slither the body forward to lift the heart for cobra pose. Breath in, breath out to lower. Press up through knee plank. Downward facing dog or child's pose as you exhale. And then downward facing dog, shifting forward through tabletop, tucking the toes and lengthening the legs. All right, so we're going to move through that Surya Namaskar, a variation a few more times. Lift the legs straight up behind you. Inhale. Step the foot forward as you exhale. Low lunge. Your next exhale is a curtsy. Right foot behind, wing the arms. Inhale, stand tall, arms overhead. Palms meet at the heart as you exhale. Reach it up tall as you inhale. Wide dive, forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Inhale, steps the right foot back. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Plank pose as you inhale. Knees, chest, chin as you exhale. Cobra pose, breathe in. Good, lower as you breathe out. Knee plank, child's pose, tabletop, downward facing dog. 3 more times. Right leg lifts, inhale, low lunge, exhale. Inhale, strong heart, exhale, curtsy. Breath in, Urdhva Hastasana, Samastihi, palms at your heart. Reach it up tall, breath in. Uttanasana, breath out. Ardha Uttanasana. Bow and breathe out. Left foot back, low lunge. Right foot back, down dog. Plank pose, breathe in. Knees, chest, and chin. Slither forward, cobra. Lower. Knee plank. Child's. Tabletop. Downward facing dog. Left foot. Exhale. Breath. Curtsy. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms press. Move at the pace of your breath. You know the way. So I'll talk it through, but you're going to customize this to suit your body. And so that might mean slowing down. It might mean skipping some things. It might mean adding on. And it might also mean, keep going, that you customize that vinyasa. So if you feel ready for a lower all the way from plank to your belly, you can do that. Or even through chaturanga and upward facing dog. Low lunge. Down dog, always on an exhale. Vinyasa like you. Plank pose. Lower all the way, or I'll show you halfway. Upward facing dog, just the hands and the tops of the feet on the ground. Still from up dog, you can shift back to child's pose. Good, left leg, lift it up, breathe in. Step it forward, low lunge, inhale. Curtsy, exhale. Urdhva Hastasana, float the arms and the heart. Press the palms. Inhale. Wide dive, exhale, soften the knees. Ardha Uttanasana, chest reaches forward. Right foot back, lunge. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa. One more time each side. Starting with the right leg. I invite you on these last rounds through to close your eyes. Tune in to the sound of your breath, the texture of your mat underneath your hands and your feet. Last vinyasa as you're ready. And then we're going to meet in child's pose. So move like you through your cobra or upward facing dog or vinyasa of choice. And then it's child's pose. Rock the forehead a little side to side. Rock the torso, the chest side to side. Good. Walk your hands back to your knees and come to stand on your knees. Good. And I want your knees to be right underneath your hips. Bring your hands to your hips. Steady your gaze in front of you. And then shift the weight into your left knee. And this is where patting your knees might feel good. Step the right foot forward. Lift your arms up. And then take it a little bit wider, so you've got some space on the side of the neck. Glide up the fingers. Reach the hips a little bit forward. As you reach the heart a little bit up. Keep pressing through both feet, front foot and back foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, take the arms beside you and tip the torso forward. Inhale, lift your arms up. Tuck your left toes under. This time as you exhale, tip the torso forward, lift the left knee. Back to Anjaneyasana. Left knee down, arms lift. Tip the torso, wing the arms, left knee lifts. One more time, just like that. Arms lift, heart lifts. Left knee lifts as you tip forward. Keep the legs, lift the arms up, high lunge. Stay in the body. Recommit to the breath. Recommit to the sensation in your legs. Breath in. Open arm twist to the right as you exhale. Turn the palms up, soften the elbows. Keep pressing off the left toe so the left heel moves over the left ball mound. Bring the right hand back to your right hip or down to the left hamstring as you lift the left arm high. Press off the left foot. Gaze can be down to the ground or up under the left armpit. Good. Low lunge twist. Legs stay the same. Left hand comes down, right arm lifts. Lift the left hip, so light up the left hamstring. Glide the right arm forward and then down inside the right foot. Let the left knee come down to the ground. Right knee comes back to meet the left. We're in tabletop. Keep the hips stacked over the knees. Walk your hands forward for heart melting pose. Let the chest reach to the ground. So the chest might not quite reach, but we're moving in that direction. Chin or forehead on the ground. And I like to kind of back out on my inhales, drop in on my exhales. One more time. Exhale. Good. Walk the hands back underneath your shoulders and then come to stand on your knees. We're going to take this lunge flow to the other side. And we're going to bring it down. Shift the weight into your right knee. Step your left foot forward. And then make your adjustments. Your feet aren't glued. Float your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Widen the arms. Widen the breath. Start to let the hips reach a little forward as the chest lifts up. Breath in. Breathe out. Arms tip beside you. Torso reaches forward. Inhale, lift the arms up and the heart up. Tuck the right toes. You know where we're going. Exhale, tip the torso, lift the right knee. Drop the knee. Inhale, lift up. Again, exhale, knee lifts, tip forward. One more time, breath in. Breath out, tip forward. Stay in the legs, high lunge, aerobic. Powerful in both legs. Adjust the stance. If you feel wobbly, widen your feet east and west. Press off the right foot. Powerfully trust in the bend of the left knee. Inhale. Twist to the left as you exhale. Palms to the ceiling. Woo. Soften in the elbows. Tip back, right hand down, left arm high. Low lunge twist, right hand down, left arm high. Left hand comes down inside the foot, right knee comes down, left knee steps back to meet the right. Another round of Anahata Asana, heart melting pose. Hands walk forward, hips stay over the knees, and then drape the chest down like a hammock. Now tuck your toes under. Bring your forearms parallel, shoulder width distance. We're going to meet in forearm plank. So shift the chest so the shoulders come over the elbows, and then tuck the toes. And if you need to wiggle the feet back, do that. We want the forearms in a number 11. Powerful through the whole body. Press into the forearms. Take a breath in and a breath out. We're going to stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower the hips down to the ground. Lift the chest up. It's Sphinx pose. So untuck the toes. Still press through the tops of the feet. So it's active through the legs. And then let your chin fall into your throat. Keeping the legs active, totally release the head. Rock an ear to a shoulder and then the other shoulder. Good. Bring the neck through neutral as you breathe in. Lift the chin. As you breathe out, let it go. One more time. Lift the chin as you inhale. And then widen the elbows, lower all the way down. So elbows, arms are like goalposts. Left ear to the mat. Let's bend the knees and just wash the shin side to side. We'll turn this into hug the earth pose. So left leg lengthens, inner right knee bends up on the ground towards your right elbow. So right knee stays touching the ground. It looks like a fallen over tree pose. Notice the breath. If it's uncomfortable under your right knee, you can take your blanket there or fold your mat in half. Take this shape to the other side. You'll lengthen the right leg, turn the right ear down, bend the left knee up. out of this shape, re-lengthen the leg, and then just flip on over to your back like a really big pancake. Just flip on over, bring your way back onto your mat if you left it. And then lengthen your legs, lengthen your arms overhead, roll through the wrists, roll through the ankles, pop the toes, take these circles in both directions, stretch long through one hand and then the other. Bend the knees, soles of the feet find the ground. And then let's have arms along our sides. Palms are facing up to the ceiling. So we're going to take a gentle bridge pose today. So I still want feet about hips width distance, heels close into the hips, but just let the arms be wide. Take a breath in as you are. And on your next breath out, press into the feet to lift the hips up. Lower it down as you breathe out. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Lift the hips up as you inhale. Lower down as you exhale. 2 more. Last time. Lower down. Good. Press into your feet. Scoot your hips to the right. And then let the knees fall to the left. Arms can come in any variation. They can be wide like a T. They can halo around the head. You can take one hand to the outer knee. Now, if you notice that there's a lot of space between your knees or between the knees and the ground, take your pillows or blankets between or beneath your knee. See what that feels like. So it can be between the knees or beneath the bottom knee. And see how that changes your experience. Gaze can be wherever feels comfortable for your neck. Two more breaths. Extend the exhales long. Return onto your backs. Realign your hips with your shoulders and just pause. Let that shape complete. We are not in a rush to get anywhere. Then we'll set ourselves up for the other side. So if you need to shift any props over to the right, do that. Then press into your feet, lift your hips, scoot them left, squeeze the knees in, and then let them fall right. And maybe the support feels good on one side and not on the other. It's fine. Find your variation with the arms and with the gaze, and slow the breath down. Two more breaths, extended, long exhales. Return onto your backs. Realign hips and shoulders. And then we'll transition our way toward our final rest in Shavasana. So you can stretch the arms and the legs long, take up space. You're probably not in a yoga studio, so you can take up all the room that you want without touching anyone next to you, potentially. So take up space, and if having the legs long doesn't feel great, then don't do it. You can always roll up a blanket and take it behind the knees. I'm also a big fan of taking my meditation cushion or my pillow and resting it on my hips and thighs for a little bit of grounding. Your final option for rest would be to take this into a seated meditation, supporting yourself just as we did in the beginning. We're not in a hurry, so take your time to arrange your body in a way that allows you to rest, stretched out long on your back. So you can roll to one side even and take Shavasana there. Allow the eyes to soften or close. And once again, commit your attention to this moment. when your mind wanders, and it will. Greet that impulse with compassion and understanding instead of criticism or judgment. And instead redirect the attention to the things in this room, the sounds, the sensations, the feeling of your breath. Begin to deepen your breath and invite your attention back here if it wandered. If you would like to stay in Shavasana for longer, do it. I always encourage a long Shavasana. So stay just as you are. If it's time for you to get going with your day, then without urgency, over the next few breaths, you'll begin to awaken the body with small movements at first, moving through the fingers and the toes, opening and closing the mouth to release the jaw. You might rock the head side to side. Grow and expand these movements through the body. Ankles and wrists, elbows and knees, roll the shoulders. As you feel ready, roll on over to one side and pause there. Support your head with an arm. Allow the body to be held by the earth. And allow the mind to be here. When we get to this part of our practice, it's so tempting to think about what's coming next. And the only thing that you need to concern yourself with right now is your next breath. That's it. Gift yourself these last few minutes of attention. Pressing your palms into the ground and greeting the texture of your floor, your yoga mat. Press into your hands to make your way up to a seat. It's not a race. Savor the transition. And then once again, as you make your way to your seat, you can do that little shifting and rocking exercise that we did at the beginning to find a neutral, unworried arrangement of the body. Bring Hakini Mudra again in front of the heart. Pads of the fingers press. Fingers are straight in Hakini Mudra, and the palms hover away from one another. And then get a little active through the elbows, so just let those lift. Allow the gaze to rest on the finger pads again. And then return to that breath practice we did for just a few breaths. Inhaling to press the pads of the fingers together, and exhaling completely to soften. A couple more times. press the palms together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra, and close your eyes or soften the gaze down. There's a little tuck of the chin, a bow to now, a reverence to the wisdom of this moment, to the wisdom of our bodies and our breath. Namaste. Thank you very much for carving out some time for your practice today. I'm going to keep posting some things. There's already some offerings posted, and live stream chair yoga with me every Friday at noon until I won't be. But for now, for the quarantine, I will be live streaming that chair practice with you. And it's chair yoga and meditation. All right. Please let me know any feedback. If you have any requests for future videos, I'm all ears, and you can find me on Instagram, which is probably the easiest way to reach me, and I'll put my handle down in the bio. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you.